My education began at Manchester Community College, where I was unsure of what I wanted to become. My advisors eventually told me it was time to pick a major, and I spent some time contemplating. After speaking with my parents, they suggested teaching because when I was young, I would always come home with school supplies and old teacher's edition textbooks, somehow convincing my friends to play school with me. It was after this realization that I decided to take an introductory class in early childhood education to get a feel for the field. After the first night of class, I was intrigued with learning about child development and teaching strategies. I thought that maybe this could be the path for me. About a month into the semester, I found out I was pregnant with my first child. I was very excited to announce it to my peers and continue learning about young children, as now my education on the subject would not only benefit the children within a classroom, but my own home. Back in 2012, my philosophy of teaching was somewhat naive and very basic. My first professors really stressed the theories of cognitive development, which is most notable through Piaget and Vygotsky, in that children learn best through meaningful and relevant play experiences. I believed that children learn best when their caregivers allow them to explore and experiment with the world around them. I talked a lot about getting down to the children's level, observing children's progress, having patience, and being encouraging. I knew that caregivers must ask open-ended questions, facilitate the child's learning, and recognize and build on their individual strengths and interests. All of these things remain true, but I've learned that there is much more to early childhood education and that these are very general concepts. Back then, I failed to mention the importance of understanding the child's home life and how daily interactions and the community impact children in multiple ways. Developmental psychologist Yuri Brockenbrenner suggests that the interactions between the individual and their environment help shape their development over time. Children's families, cultures, lifestyles, and individual relationships all have an influence on their development. In conjunction with this theory, it's important to consider Joyce Epstein's spheres of influence. Every educator should be knowledgeable about the support that families need, what the community has to offer families, how to professionally provide this information to families, and how these interactions impact children. As an early childhood educator, I will be an attentive and active listener in order to identify families' needs and challenges and uncover their strengths and barriers. From there, I will share my knowledge of what resources are available to them. By providing families with this support, I will not only positively impact the child, but the entire family. In addition, I will be supporting the organizations whose mission is to reach these families. These partnerships are crucial in the child development because all stakeholders benefit from the connections. My first educational philosophy was devoid of the importance of family engagement in children's development. Children's successes rely heavily on maintaining healthy communication between the teachers and the child's family. This means encouraging families to be involved in decision-making, providing opportunities to extend learning at home, inviting them to participate in school events, or just communicating effectively about their child. As an educator, I will always be understanding of how culture and lifestyle impact family engagement. I believe that it is critical to keep the lines of communication open with families to understand their level of engagement and to support their efforts. In my current philosophy, I wholeheartedly believe in partnership with families, as they always have been and always will remain the most influential individuals in the child's life. I believe the classroom teachers must help to empower families by listening to their concerns and ideas, educating them on how children learn, helping them to extend learning at home, and providing them with the resources they need to be successful. I now have a better understanding of multicultural teaching and the impact that family values, traditions, and daily routines have on a child's overall success. In continuing my education, I have learned that it is necessary to adjust or modify your curriculum to better support exceptional learners. Children with special needs sometimes require extra attention, support, and instruction. These children also require the caregivers in their lives to communicate effectively and advocate for their rights and needs as individuals. These children need guidance, consistency, and acceptance. In learning about exceptional children, I now know the importance of early intervention, which requires understanding typical development, identifying potential concerns, and familiarity with the referral process. It's also important to consider each child's individual strengths, interests, and culture when assessing their abilities. The most profound work that influences my current philosophy is that of Howard Gardner. Gardner's multiple intelligences suggests that the human race exhibits strengths in certain ways and in particular subjects. Basically, every individual learns differently and has strengths beyond what is considered typical. As an educator, it is imperative to take this into consideration when observing and assessing children's abilities, as well as when planning curriculum. Sometimes it may be necessary to modify my teaching strategies so that children can learn and comprehend lessons in the way that showcases their strengths. As a family liaison serving a community of diverse individuals, I am mindful of these theories and ideals, applying them where necessary, learning from my experiences, and reflecting on how my education influences my interactions with children and families. Each day, I try to incorporate some level of leadership, collaboration, partnership, and reflection into my practice. When something needs to be done and we are lacking support, I step up to the plate. When I feel as though another perspective may provide valuable insight on a challenging situation, or an upcoming event requires multiple individuals for success, I rely on a teamwork mindset. When families ask questions, state concerns, or are unsure about the next steps to take when faced with potential barriers, I'm familiar with the process of referral to outside community resources or reaching out to individuals who are better able to assist them. Finally, each day when I return home from work, I reflect on the day's happenings, considering ways that I can continue to positively impact families and constantly seeking ways to improve my performance. An important aspect of being an educator is embracing the idea that you are never finished learning. Learning is a lifelong experience that demands reflection, practice, and perseverance. Since my journey at Goodwin College began, I have become an active member of society. I'm always networking with like-minded individuals, volunteering for several initiatives, events, and organizations, practicing my leadership in the field of education, and advocating for children and families. As president of the ECE Club, I've been given the opportunity to collaborate with my colleagues and make a difference in the lives of children. I've worked closely with the Vernon Family School and Community Partnership Center to plan a playgroup for young children and a parent workshop, bringing it to an area that is convenient for families who struggle to find transportation. I've also been given the amazing opportunity of doing my internship at the Connecticut Office of Early Childhood, working on the family input booklets for the Connecticut Dots. I have so many people to thank for my journey thus far. My husband, who works hard to support our family, helps with household duties, and plays with our children so that I have the time to study and complete my assignments. My mother and father, who helped me go to college and inspired me to pursue a career in education. My professors and mentors, Susan Jenkin, Kathy Gavin, Michelle Dent, and Rosalie Witt, who, with their guidance and support, have taught me so much about children and families, becoming a professional in the field, and encouraged me to continue my education. Elizabeth Aschenbrenner, who in our brief interactions motivated me to go outside of my comfort zone when considering my internship experience. Michelle Levy, my internship supervisor, who has been an incredible coach and mentor, has introduced me to many individuals in the field while granting me the opportunity to assist in the development of a major state project. Finally, I want to thank my 5 children, Nicholas, Gracie, Hunter, Owen, and Oliver, for making me a mother, testing my skills, and giving meaning to my whole journey. But my journey does not end here. I look forward to obtaining my master's degree within the upcoming years. I have a vision of starting my own high-quality, Reggio-inspired early childhood learning center within my community and provide high-quality education unlike any other in my town. I will always include the aforementioned concepts, theories, and ideals into the vision of the organization while advocating for children, families, and educators alike. Until then, I will dedicate the upcoming years to gaining more experience and new perspectives, applying my skills and knowledge in the field of early childhood. My journey does not end with a framed bachelor's degree on the wall of my home, but with the children who will lead our future generations to excellence. Thank you for listening.